Hey guys, we're going to read chapter 30 in The Bridge Home. This chapter is a little bit upsetting, and there is a bad word in it, just to warn you ahead of time. I wish we were reading this all together, but just doing the best we can here. All right, here we go. Luthu's tale. The money was made selling your necklaces was all we had that day, and it was even less than we'd made that last time. We should get Ruku some medicine, I said. And I'm not going one more night without mosquito repellent. I'd rather eat well and let the mosquitoes eat well too, Muthu argued. He wanted to spend every last coin we had on food, but a rule supported me. We ended up spending half our money on repellent and cough syrup, which meant we went to bed with half-empty bellies again. Worse, you wouldn't let me rub the repellent on you properly because you didn't like the sticky feel of ointment on your skin. But in spite of the cough medicine, you weren't any better the next morning. You two stay and rest, the rule said. Muthu and I will see if we can sell the bottles the gardener gave us. The boys set off, and I began telling you your favorite story. Cutie lay close to us, the scent of his wet fur comforting me as much as his warmth. When I got to the end about us always being together, you stared off into the distance as though you could see a palace floating in the air. The look in your eyes scared me. I didn't want you traveling all alone to our palace. I turned over and lay on my elbows and read my book to you until you dozed off. I felt so faint with hunger that it was an effort just to reread the pages while I waited for the boys' return. Bananas! Luthu's cry woke you. We crept out of the shelter. We found a new way smart man, but he's worse than stingy. Rule's forehead was scrunched up in a worried frown. He drove a really hard bargain. Gave us next to nothing for all that glass. It's a good thing Ruku's favorite food is cheap. When Muthu saw no response from you to your favorite food, he clapped his hands in mock joy. Bananas, Ruku. It's so long since we had any. I've forgotten how good they taste. He bit one, swallowed it right away without even seeming to chew it, and let out a full-throated belch. Ew, don't do that in school or at home. See, is that a miracle or what? We can burp. Oh, we've eaten next to nothing. Now do you believe in God, Akka? I laughed, though I was worried about you not eating. And even a rule laughed. Instead of telling Muthu he was going to hell. There's our bad word. Don't use that word. That was a miracle. Okay. That evening, your skin was warm to the touch, and I was overcome with guilt. I'd come to the city hoping for a better life. As soon as you were better, I needed to do more than just dream about finding a school where we would both study. The closest we'd come to that was meeting the kind woman at church. I'd thrown away the card she'd given me, but the address had stuck in my brain. Maybe we should go to see the lady we met in church, Selena Auntie, tomorrow, I said. We could go to school and... School? Muthu sputtered. No way. Why shouldn't we see what she has to offer? That woman is a liar, Muthu cried. No, she isn't. She told the priest we weren't thieves, remember? Why? Muthu demanded. Why should a well-dressed woman care enough to argue with a priest for the sake of kids she doesn't know? Because she's good? Because she's trying to catch us and sell us, Muthu said. Don't be ridiculous. You're the one being ridiculous, he said. I went to one of those schools once. It was a prison. What? Arul put his arm around Muthu. You don't have to tell. I must, Muthu said. Akka needs to know. Know what? I was scared to ask. Muthu's tone was so serious, so different from usual. You and Cutie sensed the change in him, too. You touched his cheek with a tired hand. Cutie shifted his position and laid his head on Muthu's lap. I was sold to a school once, Muthu said. A school where they taught us to make handbags. We had to cut and sew all day. They kept us locked in. The man who called himself our owner only let us go to the bathroom at dawn and at night after our work was done. To eat, we only got stale rotis if we were lucky. I shivered from the coldness of his voice, not the damp, chilly air. If we didn't finish as many handbags as he demanded, or didn't do whatever we must, he lashed us, Lindsay hit them, with his leather belt until we bled. I took one of Muthu's palms in my own, but he didn't respond to my touch. His mind seemed far away. One day, Muthu continued, police raided the place and took us to an orphanage. But the woman at the orphanage was a Rakshisi. He shuddered, a demon. A bad person. She beat us too, not as bad as the man, but bad enough that I ran away. I found him, Arul said, picking up where Muthu had left off, hiding behind a garbage can. We shared some food, and by the next morning, I was helping you, Muthu finished. You became my boss. Not boss, Arul said, brother. No, Muthu was firm. If Fiji can be your sister, why can't I? Boss is better, Muthu said. My stepbrother's the one who sold me. Arul looked so upset. I knew it was the first time he'd heard that part of Muthu's story. Listening to the rain plinking against the gravestones, I stared at our tarp roof that was swaying in the strengthening wind. Muthu's tale had horrified me, but I wasn't sure he was right about Selina Auntie. My back hadn't felt like a snake was crawling up it when I'd met Selina Auntie. Like I felt with the creepy way smart man and the nasty bus driver. If anything, she seemed unusually kind. But could I really trust my feelings? I hadn't been on my own as long as Arul and Muthu. Surely they knew this world better than I did. Okay, so we found out a little bit about Muthu's past in this chapter. And our exit ticket question is explain why Viji is unsure she can trust Selina Auntie. Well, Viji just heard Muthu's story about how he was sold to somebody and forced to work. So even though when she met Selina Auntie, she seemed very nice, she's unsure if she's really nice or if it's like a fake front and she's really trying to trap them. But I look forward to seeing what you write on your exit tickets. This can be a reminder too for us to be grateful for the school that we go to and our families that we have while we reflect on what we read. Anyways, have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.